everybody. Welcome to today's episode of CCIR Student Research Spotlight. I'm your host, Nell, and today we have Binrui Shen to talk to us about his time working with CCIR in the chemistry department with Professor Connor Taylor. Barry is in his 11th grade at school in China. Welcome, Barry. It's a pleasure to have you. It'd be wonderful if you could please tell us the title of your project because it's quite complicated and difficult to pronounce, and also give us a little summary about what it is.
My research project is aldehyde assisted remote ruthenium catalyzed CH oxygenation of dibenzofuran derivatives. It's a sort of a, I guess you can say, a niche topic inside of so we have chemistry, and then you go down from chemistry, we have organic chemistry, and inside of organic chemistry, there's organometallics. Basically, organic chemistry is like carbons and hydrogens, how they interact. And organometallics is saying that we have carbons, and then we have carbons, and then we use metals to help we catalyze some sort of reaction. And my topic is specifically one of those reactions. And you can say also it's under the bigger broad of like this called CH functionalization group of like research projects. And that's basically where my research project lands in this overall landscape of chemistry research.
Amazing. That is so specific and sounds very technical and very clever. What got you interested in this in the first place? How did you decide this was the topic that you wanted to pursue?
I always was into organic chemistry and I really loved it. I've studied it over the summer, and Professor Taylor also sort of assisted me, and we talked a bit further into sort of a lot of the other catalysis side of chemistry, and then we later dived deeper into basically how to optimize these reactions. And part of the reason I chose this was not my first research topic. This was my third one. The first one I sort of came up with myself, and but like after a bit like a long like 2 weeks of just consistent research and trying to fill the gaps reading research papers, it kind of just like it's kind of like already saturated and already researched. So I was like, there's not really that much there's not that much ideas I can put into, and I can't really contribute it as a good source. The second research project, so I was from CCIR, kind of Professor Taylor kind of provided me the online assistant. I've managed to get into a offline chemistry lab because I think chemistry is very important, especially in you need to do hands-on, not just theoretical work. So I managed to get into the offline research lab, and the professor sort of gave me a few like interesting findings that they found during their entire like big catalysis project, that like basically some reactions that didn't go what they wanted to happen. And it's like it's bad for their big research project, which means that they need to find like an entire route to remake, but it creates new interesting things that's not found already inside like the chemistry field, and it's very interesting and fascinating. And the professor there gave me the opportunity to continue to pursue this research, and currently this is my research project.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I was going to ask you next, actually, if you could just expand on your relationship working with the professor and, yeah, tell us more about that relationship, how that helped you, and how you found the research experience overall.
I think it's very interesting because like I have an offline professor here, but like Professor Taylor has been providing me so much like opportunities of like um how to execute a research project, because at the
Mhm.
start, I mean, I'm still a high school student. I'm still a junior high school student. I don't really know a lot about how to actually execute a chemistry research. Like, I mean, I know all these reactions. I can like play with them and put them together and like, hey, this works. But there's not really like how do I actually try these research? So that's where Professor Taylor came in. He helped me with a lot with the chemical, like I guess you can say the chemical engineering part, or like the optimizing my reaction part. And I'm still currently, because this research project is kind of, it takes a long time to work on. I've recently I spent like, it's still not complete. So I've spent recently like last week I spent like 4 days, 8 hours a day in the lab to try to do this project. And I'm currently doing the optimization part. And Professor Taylor gave me so much help in terms of the theoretical works of how to um optimize a reaction, and also the application part of how do I design an optimization, and then from the optimization I enter in the data, I do the specific experiments, enter in the data, and then finally get the best optimized reaction I get.
Fabulous. Um, so you mentioned that you spent a lot of time sort of in the lab and working on this project, which is still kind of ongoing and a big commitment. How do you
Hmm.
manage that alongside school? What are your kind of tips for time management, and how have you found that process?
Oh, I think at least my central, I guess you can say central philosophy of time management is that you have a lot of time. But the thing is that there are so much time that you're wasting. So, for example, like we have 24 hours a day, let's say subtract 10 hours a day away from eating, sleeping, and just like maybe another extra hour for commuting. So 11 hours away. The rest 13 hours, if you have school today, then you take another like 6 hours away, like 5 hour away. You still have like 7 hours or like 6 hours left. A lot of people might like, let's say we spend like 30 minutes, 1 hour on Instagram or like on YouTube, boom, that time is just gone. Um, and I've personally experienced with that. I've really trying to control myself with like social media and like other non-related stuff. And after a bit, I think it's just sometimes that you have like more self-control and try to control yourself better. Then you can sort of push yourself into doing what you like. So it's about saving your time out and just do more scheduling. So you at any moment you'll be like, I don't have anything to do today because there are so much stuff to do. Like um, work on the project that's due next week, or like a presentation 2 months from now. You have something to do. You don't need to waste your time and wait for the project's last minute to work on it. So you can always just work on it, and anytime you have so much stuff to do. And if you don't, just if you really, really don't, just find something you like and you can start another projects and stuff all fine. And I think
Yeah.
that's really my understanding of time management.
No, that's a very good philosophy that I think I should adopt because I'm in my final year of uni and still struggling to figure out how to squeeze everything into the day. But that sounds like a wonderful kind of experience of practicing self-discipline and yeah, gaining all of these skills that are going to be really useful in the future. How else do you feel like CCIR has shaped you? What do you feel like it's taught you personally, perhaps?
So what I've really learned from CCR is that a lot of the times you learn from like you won't be you a lot of times that it's not like high school that if you have a class, knowledge is going to be handed to you on a plate. It's not going to be like that. It's about you personally explore what you want and then go beyond than just what's taught. For example, we have a lot of like assignments, small assignments after basically an extension to what you need to do after your class. Sort of extension and then like continuation to the next class, sort of like the middle knowledge or theoretical bridge that you need to complete yourself. So, for example, one of these is, oh, I need to read Professor Taylor's research paper, and it's about basically the reaction optimization, the theoretical basis of it, how it works, why is another method less optimal or more time consuming, but this method is better because of these reasons. And basically I spent 5 to 6 hours diving into it. I if there's any like important terms I don't know, I will look it up, come back, keep reading, spent 5 to 6 hours and try to almost digest the entire thing. And I think it's this growing like knowledge that I get from this. Like the idea of you need to self-learn yourself. And because there's so like we're in an internet age and there's so much knowledge in the world that's not taught in school, or it can be taught in school, but you can acquire it directly online. And I think it's very valuable that CCIR taught me this lesson that sometimes acquiring knowledge isn't just restricted to school, but it's in the internet, and you can just, if you dig hard enough, you can find it. For example, I've taken a class. There's a University of the California Irvine, UC Irvine. They have it. They basically opened their entire chemistry degree online. So if you want to take it, you can directly go on it and then just start the video, start watching. It has like some of the courses have all like the lecture notes, homework problem sets, final exams, midterm exams. You can just go through an entire course. I finished one course already. It's like about like advanced level organic chemistry from it. And there's also like inorganic chemistry, other like you can even start from the very basic of just normal like introduction level college chemistry, and you can directly acquire from that. And I think CCR taught me the lesson is that knowledge you need to seek for knowledge rather than just wait for it.
Mm, I love that. You need to seek for knowledge rather than just wait for it. Amazing. So what attracted you to CCIR in the first place then, if there's so
Hmm.
many resources out there. Yeah, what was it specifically about CCIR that you like the look of? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about your application process to get here.
I think CCR is a very great opportunity, like compared to other projects. First, I think the ability to first directly one-on-one connect with a professor and have a college level course is very valuable in term, at least for high school students. And it's like there's almost like no other um there's no other platforms that offer this except for CCIR that offers one-on-one and basically the one that best adapts to your research. And um my application process, it was like almost a year ago actually, like maybe like 10 months ago. At that time I was a bit more into biochemistry.
Mhm.
So what I did for CCIR is that I've used my knowledge from previous lab experience, and I combined it with basically a small sort of like a research that I've did, and I've submitted that to CCIR, the and then yeah, I was accepted. But like later, I kind of pivoted to organic chemistry, where I really found my interest in.
Fantastic. Okay, so final question. If you had to do CCIR again, what would you do differently? And with that, what would be your advice to anybody looking to join the program?
I think if I would have done CCR differently, I would have focused more on like so for first CCR, I think they have the now there's the lab opportunity that you can apply to, and then you can go to an MIT lab. So if I would do it again, like right now, if I would apply and do it again, then I would definitely look for and use the lab resources that CCR offer now, because it's extremely, I think it's very extremely valuable, especially for students that have like biology, chemistry backgrounds. That basically, if you want to enter a research like grad level lab, it's almost impossible. So um, I think it's very valuable that if I have the second chance to do it, I'll definitely do that. And second of all, I think I would utilize basically have more conversation and have more engagement with my professor for each of the lesson, so that um next time so that I can get more out of my research project and basically have a better and more polished research project. So learn more skills and ask more questions. And for other CCR students, I think it's best. So first is, I mean, everyone is different, but if you could came up with a research goal, like a research topic before, it will be great to sort of continue to polish it as you go on with the lessons. So you can also ask questions about this and basically how do you do research? Because there's so much stuff, knowledge is like thrown at you, but you don't know how to basically do research and find new things that's not known in the field. And I think that's very important for new students to basically have the idea of how to do research and how do I ask, like, how do I get more out of CCIR?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Barry. It's been really wonderful hearing all your little nuggets of wisdom, and it's been a pleasure talking to you. So I wish you all the best continuing with your project and with any future endeavors. And yeah, take care. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. See you. Bye bye.